we're going to begin again, and I'd like to call to the stage my esteemed colleague Apostolos Mangiriadis and Maja Pantic, who's a special AI advisor at Neom, and they will talk about conversational AI and deep fakes. So if you guys can take your seats again, quickly. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome, Apostolos. Hi. It's a pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
Sit here. I'll make a brief introduction and you'll come on the stage. Okay.
Fine.
So, good morning all. Thank you all for joining. I'm Apostolos Mangiriadis, and I will have the pleasure of moderating the next session today. The topic is conversational AI and deep fakes. And as you can all understand, AI-driven communication is evolving at a very astonishing pace. It is reshaping the way that we communicate with each other, the way we work, the way we interact with technology. Of course, these advancements come with a series of very strong ethical and security challenges that we'll discuss with Maja Pantic. She's here to navigate us through a very complex issue. Professor Maja Pantic is the special advisor at Neom, the Dean of Computing and a Professor of AI at the Imperial College of London. And her research in machine learning in human-computer interaction and affecting computing has positioned her at the forefront of AI innovation. Maja Pantic, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
I understand that you'll have your initial remarks, and then we'll continue with our short Q&A session.
Okay, initial remarks. I don't know if it is just initial remarks, 20 minutes of a talk. But,
20 minutes for initial remarks then.
All right, so let's see if we can have the slides that people can see.
You can also have the podium if it works better for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, okay.
So today I will be speaking about conversational AI. Really, the whole idea about conversational AI is that when you talk about conversation, it is not something which is only text. Hence, we are talking about embodied AI. So, and we call them AI buddies. This is why you have this title. And there are pluses and minuses of this technology, and we will talk about that too. The technology that I will be showing to you today has been developed originally at Imperial College London by my team, and then we put it into the product while I was a senior research director in Meta. And let me first explain why this conversational AI is important. So currently we are in the age of assistive AI. So within assistive AI, what's going on is that we are having programmers that are building the tools for us, and we are potentially using some of these tools. But they're all very rigid because the tools have to be developed to address specific problems. So they're not, what Gal said, personalized for whatever application you needed. And in order to come to that age, we are starting to talk about agentic AI. And agentic AI is really that you can say to the AI what you need done, and you may even say, like, I want to replicate yourself and retrain yourself on the data that I'm providing to you to solve a new problem. So this kind, in a very naturalistic speech, should be given. So a true conversation with AI, where we are becoming the partners with AI. Currently, we are not partners with AI. We are just telling them what to do, right? There is no partnering whatsoever. So in order to move to that era, you really need to be able to talk to AI. And there are two very typical ways that we communicate with each other. One is through text, and the other one is through this fully naturalistic human communication, where you are not having only text, but you are having also speech and nonverbal communication, which includes facial expressions and intonations, for example. However, text is something which is very easy to do. So all large language models that we are currently having are based solely on processing of text. So the examples that you're seeing here are from ChatGPT, from Gemini, and from Meta AI. And you can see the results are more or less exactly the same. What you will get is whatever you ask, never mind how small your ask is, you will get this downpour of information. Humongous amount of information that you know is just thrown on you. So there is no way you don't have a conversation. Everything is just given to you, and you cannot say, that's not what I wanted, right? You have to ask a new question, and sometimes it will be the context of what you have asked previously will be taken into account, but mainly what will happen is that each new query will be addressed as a completely new query without taking actually what happened previously into account. So there's another problem, and that's the problem that the text really is a human construct. This is not how we communicate with each other naturally. Just listen to me or anybody around you who is talking. What's happening is that we do not have full stops, we don't have commas, we don't have capital letter. There are thoughts which are put into speech. And that's how you can communicate, at least in part, what your ideas and thoughts are. Text is a construct that we came up with so that we can put something on stone, on paper, and give it to our next generation. It is not a naturalistic way through which we communicate. And there is more to it. Like, if you think about, I gave here an example of how things look like with the intonation. There is a sentence and 7 different interpretations of the very same sentence, just given the intonation where you will put the intonation, on which word you will put the intonation in a sentence. And each time the meaning is completely different. So it is, if we can capture everything in text, then we will not be, having so much speech, right? So another thing, this is just very interesting. You actually text another person only if you dislike this person. And this has been shown time and again in psychological studies. So we do it when this person is very far away, when we know this person is not having time at this point, maybe busy with work or whatever else, and when you actually do not like to engage with this person. So, of course, with the younger generation, they really like to use text, but in, say, older generations, that was not the case.
That's the case when I talk with my wife, actually, right? It happens all the time, I can assure you.
There you go. Okay, so, I'm sorry. Anyhow, so what we would
New generation.
What we would really...
New generation, yeah.
What we would really like to have is this kind of fully naturalistic communication where we are speaking to AI speaking to us. We can put this intonation in play. We can show that we understood, that we are confused, that we don't like this answer, that we expected something else, and so on. And you show that actually with expressions. Okay. So one of the problems with embodiment, Gal mentioned some, but one of the questions posed to Gal is how you do this embodiment. And we have a great progress on these text-to-video models. The one that you're looking at is Sora, built by OpenAI. It has been released in 2024. And you can see everything what Gal was talking about. The eyes are going all the place. The hand motions of these ladies on the back are completely unnaturalistic. When there is this blowing into the candles, things are not happening as it should happen. And the real answer to the question, why is this happening, is because you have to train your algorithms on humans and actually make these algorithms truly apt to produce something which we as humans believe is correct, right? Physically correct. So that's why these algorithms are just simply not trained enough on human videos. However, we have quite a big progress in building such algorithms. So I will give here a few examples of the companies that do that. This is Synthesia. This is an older video. Tomorrow, CTO from Synthesia will be speaking. I hope the new technology will be shown. But this is the older version.
I am trying to show you some examples of webcam avatar. Look at my lip movement and my head movement. Let me know if I am looking real or like fake. I know the sound does not quite like me, but this is what is provided using a preset audio. Let me know your thoughts overall, smiley face.
Okay, like thousands of things which went wrong. The lip movements are not really correct. There is huge rigidity in this avatar. There is pronunciation of smiley face instead of actually showing the smiley face, and so on and so forth. This is HeyGen.
You are poor and needy. Bring your child to me. I will take her with me and be her mother and care for her.
Okay, so this is much better in my opinion. Still rigidity in the body, but I think the lip motions are pretty good. There are some movements. There are no expressions, but okay, that can be also from Yilei. That's my colleague, who doesn't show too much of these expressions. But on the other side, like much better in my opinion. This is Microsoft. Vasa. It has been, I think, released in April 2024. So let me show you this.
These principles will not only make your user's journey more pleasant, they'll contribute to better business metrics as well. Users hate being interrupted, and they hate getting broken experiences. Keeping these principles in mind in your app design makes for a better user journey. Okay, biggest problem are the eyes. So the rest is really good, but the eyes have a problem. And somebody remarked that also previously and gave this question to Gal in the previous session.
You mean the direction of the eyes, right?
Yes. Like it seems that this person has a visual deficiency, while this person doesn't have any visual.
He's not addressing the audience, actually. He's just looking somewhere else.
And the eye is going a little bit left and right. So take a look of the lady. It's very similar problem.
The micellas, the milks, the cleansing balms, the oils, they are really great for a drier skin, a mature skin, that first step cleanse, that removing makeup. So for me, they kind of sit into that bracket.
But it's much better, but it's not perfect.
It's not perfect, yes. But the eyes are really problematic. Teeth are a little bit of an issue, but expressions are good in my opinion. And another problem is the body. You don't see the body. So in principle, you would like to see at least a little bit of a body. This is the what we built in Meta. So let me show you this.
Hey, can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Priyanka Naik, Eco Chef and Travels AI. Nice to meet you. I'm a self-taught chef, Food Network champion, and host of Dish It Healthy on Tastemade. I'm passionate about animals, the environment, and sustainable living. I've also published my debut cookbook, #ToModernTiffin. What about you?
What do you think about paneer?
I love paneer. It's a great source of protein and can be used in so many different dishes.
I agree with you.
Great minds think alike. What's your favorite way to use paneer? I'm always looking for new ideas and inspiration.
So, in principle, this is the state of the art currently. Everything is moving as it should move. There is interruption possible. The interruption is taken into account when you answer the next question. Let me show you another example. Oh, sorry.
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Cause AI. Nice to meet you. I'm here to help answer any questions you have and chat with you about all things CA. What's on your mind?
What do you think about latest Tesla Model 3?
I think it's a great car. The Model 3 is a game changer in the electric vehicle market.
Would you take it?
Affordable.
The reaction
I'm not
time
sure
is a
if
little tricky.
I mean, it's a great car and all, but I'm not really in the market for a new vehicle right now.
Okay.
Plus, I'm not... Yeah, I'm good with that. How about you? Are you thinking of getting a Tesla?
So when he said okay, it was like stopping of the conversation. The agent didn't know what to answer, so it's like, okay, I'm good with that, right? So there is something which is coming, which is very naturalistic as the answer, and all the interruptions are, feasible.
The reaction time is the same that GDP actually waits until it gives us
we don't
any
use
answer.
GPT, but we use Llama, but it doesn't matter, large language model,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
So in principle, yes, you need, this is the longest.
2 seconds.
Exactly. So, and nonetheless, because there is this like thinking time, you have the reactions which are there. It's like, okay, I'm thinking a little bit, let me give you now the answer, right? So the technology is, this is the whole system. So you have the user speaking, this goes into the automatic speech recognition, which is really going speech to text. Then this goes into large language model. In our case, this is Llama. We produce, the answer, and then this goes into text to speech. All of these people are real people, so the voices are cloned. In this text-to-speech, you clone also the voice of the same person, and then you go to the talking model where the input is just this audio, right? And then you go and hallucinate the mouth movements that are fitting to this text-to-speech with each speech, and you hallucinate all facial expressions and gaze and head pose and bodily motions that you should actually produce fitting to this speech. What is really interesting with this model is that the model is extremely small. So like VASA model from Microsoft, this is 750 megabytes. This model on GPUs is 23 megabytes. You can reduce it, and when it's running on your phone, it's 2.3 megabytes. So it's extremely small. And so this is where we start talking about personalized assistance, possibility of personalized assistance on your phone. So Mark has introduced this technology in October 2024. This is Don Allen Stevenson, who is on the stage, and Mark is having the phone call with his AI replica. So take a look.
Hey, congrats on the new book that you just released. What's the main thing that you're hoping that people take away from it?
Thank you so much. Yeah, the main thing I want people to take away from my book is the idea that you have the power to create your own opportunities by combining curiosity, adaptability, and resilience in a rapidly evolving digital world.
I saw a video of the epic outdoor standing desk that you wrote the book at. Is being in nature and standing desk important for your creative process?
Being in nature and using a standing desk is crucial for my creative process. It helps me think more clearly and come up with my best ideas. I'm way more creative and focused when I'm outdoors.
All right, I'm going to try to stump you with this one. Do you have any tips on cattle ranching?
I don't have any tips on cattle ranching. My expertise lies in technology and design, not agriculture.
Okay. Why people are very happy about this answer is because we limited actually the knowledge of large language models to the knowledge of this person. So we didn't want to go into anything which usually people do. Oh, let me talk about ethical problems with you. So this is something that AI cannot answer. There are no correct answers on ethical problems, right? So it's extremely important. Somebody asked in the last session, Gal was asked about education. One of the things which is extremely important is exactly that. When you are building these agents for your education, what you need to do is build the subjects exactly as the subject should look like. And simply always say to the agent, if questions come across that subject, either refer to the agent who is teacher of another subject, or say, this is outside of the remit of my knowledge. This is not why I'm here with what I can help you. So this is why this was the reaction of the public on this. So the methodology that we developed is actually the very first methodology that incorporates everything. This is the superhuman knowledge, which is built into the large language model, the natural speech in and out, together with all the interactions that we naturally have with each other, and then this empathic embodiment, where the empathy really, it's not too much. What we try to do is just report and pleasantness. So we didn't want to go into all affective reactions that people can have, including strong anger or strong surprise or strong disgust. No, it is mostly these conversational, empathic reactions to the questions. And everything is personalized, because actually what you have is, for each agent, we had a replica of a real person. Applications are really multiple. One of the main ones is customer services. This is, there are 4% of workforce in UK are customer services. And out of these 4% of people, 10 to 15% suffer depression. And the reason is that they are consistently facing angry people doing repetitive job, answering consistently the same questions. And so the prevalence of depression in that workforce is humongous. It's much bigger than anywhere else, like in the regular services kind of things. Another thing which I really think is great is having financial and legal advisors. Currently, only people with money can have these advisors. But actually, if you can have these kind of agents, anybody can have any legal advice, right? And so Thomson and Reuters bought a company which does that. And so we expect that they will be the first to have this kind of, commodity, legal advice as a commodity, which I really believe is one of the things that needs to go, needs to be accomplished. Coaches for mental health, for anything what people prefer not to say to other people. So that's something where we believe there will be a lot of help with this kind of technology. Education, I gave you that one already, and then personal assistance. So that you actually can clone yourself and you answer the phone calls from all these spam calls, and you simply very politely say, no, I really do not want that, right? Or you're answering your insurance phone calls where you will explain what you want to the insurance, and they can, renew your insurance and so on. This is, in fact, something that Google has patented on 12th of February 2025. They patented a chatbot for personal assistance for the emails, so that your emails could be scanned and answered automatically by this kind of not embodied, but chatbots. Misuses, of course. I mean, if you think about this, what you have seen here, the clone of Don Allen is extremely look-alike real Don Allen Stevenson. To that extent that when we have shown this to his friends, they couldn't actually see a real difference. So if you can do that, you can then do this for more or less anybody you want. We need approximately 30 minutes of video data to do that, and approximately between 2 and 8 hours of training to build deepfakes. So it is a problem. It is something that people have to think about, and think what they will do with their data and how much data they will put in Aether, right? But there is more than that. Some data is not put in Aether, but somebody collects this data, and this happened in Europe last year in May. One person was on a video call with a whole C-suite from Europe, and they told him to transfer 25 or 20 million pounds. It was, I think, $25 million on a specific account. And he just couldn't believe that all these C-suite are in fact deep fakes, which are very, very realistic deep fakes. So I believe this is something that needs to be worked on, and I think companies don't do too much there. So in summary, I think we are now ready that we can talk to AI agents and be real partners with AI agents and use this technology for really interesting and beneficial applications, but which could become commodity. But at the same time, I believe that deepfake protection needs to become commodity as well. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maja. I think we have time for 2 questions. Like following your thoughts on the fake news and the deep fake, political disinformation and fake news is actually a major concern today for us journalists. Even following the news, we are actually not in a position to actually understand what the truth is with social media getting so many different opinions. But even if we add new technologies on that, it gives a sense of a situation where you cannot understand what is right and what is wrong and what's real and what's not real. The question here is, are deep fakes the next major threats to our democracy, and how can AI itself help combat this problem?
So I believe deep fakes are the major problem for everybody. So for any company, we have seen that, like people with fraudulent ideas will try to open the bank account instead of you, will try to take the money from the company, and will try to position their thoughts in the mouth of a politician or a public figure, right? So what needs, yes, AI can help. The model that I have shown to you is a very classical generative adversarial model, which means that you have the generator that needs to become good, and you have detectors that consistently say to this generator, well, this is a fake, this is not generated well. So the fact that we could produce this kind of quality of deepfakes means that also our detectors are extremely good. So what I want to say is that that other side of technology, detectors only, could be used as a deepfake detectors. However, it's very important that the best deepfake detectors, the ones that will not leak anything or will be 98, 99% accurate, are those that are personalized. So I need to build these detectors for a specific person, and then I can definitely detect whether anything else is a deepfake, right? So what I want to say is that companies that do want to protect their customers or want to protect us as a regular people need to pair with the companies that build deepfakes. That's the only way forward, in my opinion, right? And to have the people agree that one of the detectors that we use is identity detector, of course. So that people who want their deepfake detectors, they need to provide identity as well. So it's always a little bit of a question, but yes, I believe this is one of the major threats that we need to address.
And another issue, governments and tech companies are discussing regulations to somehow curb the misuse of AI-generated content. Do you believe regulation is keeping pace with the technological advancements or not?
Okay, what I believe is that regulation is probably one of the worst things any government can do. We have seen that now coming in between China, America, and Europe. So there is this graph, I don't know if you have seen it, but they say USA, best in robots, best in whatever. Then contested area with China, chips, AI models. China, best in drones, best in this. Europe, best in regulations. The problem is that in Europe is completely not here. Why? Because the whole story is that they build this regulation way too fast. So how regulators work, they build these blanket rules. And when you have a blanket rule, nothing is good. No generated content is good. None of our people's data can be used for any of the models. What happened? With this regulation...
It hinders the innovation, it hinders the initiative.
Exactly, because currently, who are the providers of the best models? China and USA. Right? And USA said, given that regulation of Europe said, none of the data of any European citizen may be used in any of the models. They simply say, we are not giving you the models. And what is now happening that you don't have the access, like Europe doesn't have the access to the best models. That's horrible. Because with these models, you can progress the whole field and all the economy. We have seen 2 Nobel Prizes were actually to AI people. That's the future. So if you limit yourself there is no future. So I really think that it is extremely important that people think about these regulations very carefully.
You have a strong argument on this. You already won me. Thank you very much for saying all your thoughts, and thank you for this very nice presentation.
Thank you.